So, good evening, everybody. Good evening or afternoon or morning or whatever to those people who are listening on the Acts on This TV audio experience. If you're listening to the recording of this, thank you so much for doing that. I know there are literally about 2,000 actors, I presume they're actors, a week who just listen to the audio of this Monday night broadcast on, they either listen to it on iTunes or Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, just wherever you get your podcasts from. So shout out to you. Please do come and join us live for one of these one night if you can and actually get involved in the chats along with all these amazing people here. Caitlin, Esther, Callum's now here. All right, Callum, how you doing, mate? Poppy is in the house as well. Sandra, Liz has joined. Liz, good to see you. Nicola, Sandra, Indra, Matthew, Rachel, Esther, Amanda, Scylla. I think that's a new name. Scylla, good evening. Great to have you here. James, Liz, Alan's in the house. So many people are here. Thanks so much for joining us. If you do listen on the audio experience, or you're watching the recording on Facebook, if you missed the live, or you're watching on YouTube, do us a favour, leave the word replay in the comments, just so I know how many people actually catch up on this in the replay. It would be, it's just good to know, isn't it? How many people catch up after the event. Andrew's here and David's here. So got loads to talk about tonight. The first thing, though, that I want to hammer home, because I'm more excited about this than I've probably been about doing anything on actsonthis.tv for some time now. On the bottom of the screen here, you can see a little banner that says free first TV role training, Saturday the 8th of August. And the web address is actsonthis.tv/training. If you go to that, let me share my web browser with you. The screen might go black for a second. Bear with me 2 seconds. Yeah, I knew it would. Always does this. There you go. Hang on. That's better. Let's share that. If you go to actsonthis.tv/training, okay, you can get involved with something that I am doing this coming Saturday morning at 11 a.m. UK time. Now, there's even people that we've got in the community who are going to be tuning in from America. Lauren, shout out to you. She said she's getting up at 3 a.m. in the morning to join us for this, so I better make it good. I am going to make it good. I've spent the last 2 days coming up with a presentation and a training that I'm so happy with that I'm going to share with you guys. Basically, it dawned on me when I put a survey out in the Act on This Facebook group, how many of you guys actually are yet to get your first TV credit, and so many people are on Spotlight. And please let me know, in the chat here tonight on Facebook, if you are on Spotlight, ultimately, if you've been acting a while, okay, so you're not brand new to the industry, you know what you're doing, you've got the ability, you've got Spotlight, maybe you even went to drama school, you trained, it's not essential you went to drama school, don't get hung up on that. But, you ultimately have all the things that, most people tell you should have in order, for you to progress in your career. And yet, actually, you feel like you're not progressing in your career. Because I think a lot of it is just like a lot of the stuff that, acting tutors and, quote unquote, acting coaches or whatever are preaching and telling you guys right now, about how you can progress your career. I think so much of it is just focused on craft. None of it is focused on business, the business of this business, okay? And, these people who are coaching this stuff, they're not actors. They've never done the thing that they're actually telling you to go out and do. And I realize, at least for my first, I've done over 25 TV roles, decent TV roles in top dramas, and at least the first 12 of those roles were what I would class as kind of, entry-level day player roles that most people on this live right now or on the recording right now are capable of doing. They are, they start off with like the 5 lines, sometimes even 1 line. I got cast as 1 line in my first part on Emmerdale. It didn't actually happen because the part got cut. I then got upgraded and the casting director had me back and I ended up with I don't know, probably like 5-6 lines in the end, which is pretty good. But, that's kind of the roles that you start off as, and then you move up from there till you get, like 2 scenes, 3 scenes, a guest lead in an episode, 2 episodes of a drama, etc. But the first 12 roles that I probably did, and there was a real method to how I was getting these roles. It wasn't luck. None of it was luck, because I've always been massively analytical with how I actually look at this business. I think at the heart of things, I'm probably equally as a businessman as I am an actor, maybe even slightly more skewed, like, 51% businessman, 49% actor, if I'm honest with you. So I'm doing a training on Saturday where I'm going through, ultimately, I don't want it to sound corny, but the 3 secrets that at the time I didn't even realize were secrets, just 3 things that I was doing to get roles time, and I mean time and time and time again. And I'm going to go through the first 12 roles that I got on TV, and I'm going to go through how I got them. And then I'm going to offer you guys, I'll be completely transparent because I didn't even know I was going to do this, but I'm going to offer you guys some like super in-depth training at the end of that if you want to carry it on. That is going to be something that's paid for, but you know, if you just join this training, you're going to learn a shed a shed load anyway. Okay, if you want to attend this, it's completely free. actonthis.tv/training. Put your name and email address in. You'll see it on your screen right now, the form, and you will get a link sent to you automatically for Zoom. Now, there's 300 places on Zoom for this training. I checked before I went live, literally a minute before I went live tonight, and 217 of them have already been taken. So there is currently room right now for what's that, like 83 more people to jump on this training. I doubt everyone who's registered is going to turn up, but I just don't want you to miss out. You know, like Zoom has a limit on how many people can join unless you pay them. I already pay about $3,000 a year for Zoom. Unless you pay me even more than that, like, you know, you're not allowed more people on it than that. So actonthis.tv/training. I'm so happy with the presentation, honestly, and what I've got to offer you guys at the end of that training, if you want to carry it on, is just, I think, an absolute no-brainer. And like I say, what I'm teaching is not theory, it's not bullshit. I'm not a coach or an acting tutor who just teaches acting, you know, and he's like, oh, you should do this. You know, no, I have done this, and I have got evidence of 25 plus TV roles, and I even dug out before, I've even found emails that I have sent to casting directors that I'm going to share with you guys and show you what I wrote, how I constructed the email, you know, what I had on my reel, how I constructed my reel. And there's emails, honestly, like I'm going to share with you that within 8 days, 8 working days of me sending this email, I'm going to show you the reply that I got from the casting director, the follow-up that I got the same day from my agent asking me in for an audition for a really decent role on a top serial drama, and I bagged that role. And I'm going to go through that process of how I did it, because I just think it's about time somebody started teaching this shit and stopped talking about the theory of stuff and just be optimistic and, you know, and be positive, and you're going to get a part. I think a lot of acting schools and tutors, even if they don't know they're doing it, they want to make out to you that it's well harder than it is, and they want to make out to you that it's all luck and you've just got to hang in there, and at one point lightning will strike. And I think they're probably doing that, A, because they don't know how you're going to get a part, and B, like, to just keep you spending money with them. Keep coming to my acting classes, it's £40 a time or £35 a time. Keep coming to my workshops, they're £65 a time. And it's like, no, okay, I'm going to, you know, show you guys on the webinar on Saturday, you know, how you can go and research and do all this stuff yourself, but it is a step-by-step thing. I'm not going to hide anything from you. And then I'm going to make an offer at the end of that. It's probably only going to be for 25 people. I'm not going to be able to work with people closely if it's more than that, where if you want my help to literally guide you through this and walk through this with you, because ultimately I want to use about 25 people as case studies, because the best thing for me would be for you to, you know, come on this training with me and then get a part in a show quickly, get your first TV role, and then I want to use those 25 people as case studies, because I want to develop this into a full-blown program, like a flagship course for Act on This, and just for the industry, that really kind of just fast-tracks people's success. So you stop waiting 4 years, 5 years, whilst you know, in that time, you've still got spotlight. You might even have an agent. You've got all the things people are telling you to have, and yet you're not able to get a role. I'm going to show you practically, you know, and from a business perspective, how you do that. Literally how you sell yourself and realize that you, but not in a cheesy way and not in a hard, pushy way, but just in a way that actually casting directors are going to look forward. I mean, genuinely look forward to opening your emails, because you are going to be presenting yourself in a way that solves a problem of theirs, and it doesn't cause more confusion. You know, you're not giving them a problem effectively. You're actually handing them a solution on a plate, and you happen to be that solution, and employing you is the solution. So I'm well excited about it. Honestly, I'm very excited. It's the first time I've ever done a course like this. I've done courses. I did Bulletproof Actor, which I'm going to launch later this year, which is a mindset program. And this training will have an element of mindset in it as well, because I think mindset is everything in terms of, I think a lot of actors are not consistently reaching out and selling themselves to casting directors like ever, because their head is not in the right place. They're self-sabotaging, they're getting in their own way, they have no confidence, they don't feel they're good enough, and thus they're playing it safe all the time. And trust me, right now, in COVID and for the foreseeable, the only way you are going to get on the radar of the casting directors that can give you work is by reaching out to them, because there ain't anybody coming to watch you in the theatre. That's another main kind of like hunting ground for casting directors to discover actors to put in their shows. That's not going to be happening this year. Like, so if you want to not write off 2020, and please don't write off 2020, because you're doing yourself a massive disservice if you do, because so many actors are doing that. It's a perfect opportunity for you now to get your ducks in a row, really understand this industry, and I just know I can help you. I swear to God, I just know, because I've done it myself so many times, I can help you get that first TV role. I can't promise you a glittering career where you're going to star in everything, but I can get you that one TV role. I can show you how to do it. I can show you how I've done it 20 odd times. And every single time it hasn't really changed that much. And just to show you as well, let me share my web browser with you one more time. Just noticed this tweet. Great agent, and I've got a podcast with her on actonthis.tv for all members as well. Great agent, not that one, that's my Facebook page. Which one is it? This one. Just noticed Alex Priestley 3 hours ago. She's a great agent. If you go to actonthis.tv and go in the members area, if you're a member, if you're not, get a membership, you can listen to a podcast that I did with Alex. But look at that, she just put there, I am sharing this with you now, aren't I? Because I remember I always forget to share my screen with you and then I start talking. Yeah, I am. It says there, 30 self-tapes requested, sent out, recorded, and sent over to client in 42 crazy hours. The best team around, I'm telling you, she says. So the industry is not quiet right now. If a great agent like that is having to send 30, her clients having to send 30 self-tapes in what, 42 hours, you say? In 42 crazy hours. Don't sit at home thinking, oh, I can have all this time off because nothing's happening in the acting industry. It is, and like you're just doing yourself a huge disservice. You're making a mistake if right now you're still relaxing. I think for the first couple of months within COVID, it was so overwhelming. It was causing loads of anxiety. We'd never been here before. We didn't know what was going on. I feel by now you should have a grip on it. You should have a grip on, your career and most things. I mean, if you're ill, that's completely different. Or if a family member's ill, that's completely different. But I don't think now is the time to use it as an excuse anymore to go, oh, well, no one's doing anything, so I won't do anything. The reality is no one is really doing anything in terms of your competition. But in terms of the industry, there's a lot going on. So if you are one of the few who's working hard, you're gonna clean up. Ultimately, that's certainly the way I'm looking at it. Definitely. So let's see what's going on in the comments. Curtis says signed up. Ricky says, what will be the times of the session? It's 11 a.m. It's all on the paid. Oh, the paid for part is not. That's not going to be Saturday, mate. So the paid for training that I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what that is at the end of the free training on Saturday. Like I say, I'll be completely transparent with you, so there's no surprises, but I'm going to give you so much value for free on Saturday. You could go away and use that information and easily do it on your own. Like you really could. But I know there's going to be people who actually are like, look, I would prefer it if someone would kind of hold my hand a little bit and I become part of a group. Like I say, a small group, maybe 20, 25 people that I'm going to, nurture, take through a much more extensive training. And it's going to be over, Ricky. It's probably going to be over a 6-week period. It's going to be like, 5 or 6 live calls. I'm going to take you through it live as well. It's going to be the first time I take people through this live. In the future, when I launch the program, it will be a pre-recorded program. People will go through on their own. This is the only time I will ever take people through this live, and I will have one-to-one interaction with them as well. We'll probably have like a pop-up Facebook group over the time that the course is running. I'll be able to communicate with people one-to-one in there. People will probably be able to buddy up. I'll make people team up in twos to hold each other accountable, make sure you're doing the stuff we're talking about. But ultimately, it's just going to give you a framework to go, actually, I'm gonna really uncomplicate the way I'm looking at this industry right now. I'm going to focus on one particular thing, and this is just for your first credit. So this isn't going to be the way that you look at your career forever, but this is just to fast track that first credit, basically. So it's not going to be, the time for that will be way in the future. And people will be able to register for that paid training at the end of the webinar on Saturday. I'm going to give you all the details of how you can do that. But the training won't actually start for probably 2 weeks after that, as I get everything, as I know who's going to be in the program, and then I get everything ready for that. Because I just want to give it my absolute all on this. And like I say, at the moment, I have that little bit of extra time, with it being, kind of this weird time in the industry, to hold people's hands a bit more. I'll never be able to have the time to do that again, I don't think. So the people who go through it this time will get a real good deal. Rachel says she's cooking her chicken wings for dinner tonight. Excellent, which is good. Got uni drama school. What's this, Nicola? She says, go to uni or drama school to learn how to act. Go to Ross Grant, learn how to be an actor. That's true, in terms of, I will never teach anyone how to act. It's not something I'm interested in. I don't feel I have any authority teaching people how to actually act. I think it's a really personal process. I think it's something you go through on your own gradually over many, many years, developing your own version of the craft, whatever that is for you. You can pluck and choose bits of all kinds of stuff if you want to, go a bit method, or, go like real deep on everything, like, Stanislavski, all this sort of stuff. You just, pick bits of whatever you want. I've never took it as complicated as that at all. I've just been like, look, how do I ultimately, and I went to a great drama school, but I still knew how to act before I went in there. Just like, how do I make these words that are coming out of my mouth that have been written by someone else sound like my own? I don't get too caught up in it or overcomplicate things, but other people will be like, oh my God, you should really understand the method. It's not for me. But the business, I don't think anyone in the industry is teaching the business like I teach it, or like we, kind of understand it within the actonthis.tv community through the weekly webinars that we do, because it's the one thing we focus on the most. And you can be the best actor in the world, but ultimately in any kind of business, your sole job is to put the product. Think of the last thing you bought, okay? You didn't buy it because, for a laugh. You didn't buy it and say, I'm just going to spend some money. You bought it because somebody or something put the product in front of you at the right time, to solve a problem of yours at the right time. So how can you as an actor put yourself as the product in front of someone to solve their problem at the right time? And you've got to look at it as objectively as that. So many people look at it way too subjectively, way too generally, and they just don't understand the actual industry. And it's going to be incredible. The training, the free one and the paid one, I swear to God, is powerful enough to change your career. And like I say, it's not theory, because I've done it and I'm going to share with you. When I found that email, I couldn't believe it, because I thought I can't share emails that are really current. I've been emailing casting directors this week about projects that are like really current. I was texting one today. And I mean, that's only because I've built up relationships with casting directors and directors over the years. You might not be in a position to do that. So I thought, I can't share that kind of stuff, because that's like actually about projects that are happening right now. And some of those are embargoed. Some of those, people aren't supposed to know about necessarily, because stuff's not officially been announced. But I went back in my email and I found emails from 2017 about projects that I can totally talk about now, because they've happened, they've been filmed. And when I found that email that I sent out, and then I found the reply from my agent 8 working days later, saying that I'd been requested by the casting director to be seen for this role. Not that my agent had, it wasn't like, hey Ross, we've got you this audition. It was, hey, such and such a body has requested to see you. Here's the audition details. Here's the part you're going for. Let me know. And then I'll show you my reply to my agent, and then I'll show you that part of me on screen having booked that job. And I booked it because, not because I'm extraordinary, but because I had put myself as a product in front of that casting director to solve their problem at the right time when they were prepared to buy. And that's how any kind of business works. So I'm just really excited to kind of go through it. I don't know why, it's blown my mind actually, when the whole kind of like reason behind me doing this was when I sat down with Ollie, the marketing manager of Acts on This, and he was like, mate, I'll be honest with you, he said, so much of your business is based on guests, you bringing on other people who, are in positions of authority, and you put them in touch with members of the community. And I love doing that. I've always loved being the bridge between me, me being the bridge between you and people in this industry who can give you work or who can teach you more about the industry. But so many times, he was like, mate, I can see when sometimes people are asking questions that you can answer them better than some of the guests. And I was like, I actually feel that sometimes. And that's because I've spoken about this industry at length for more than 400 hours over the last decade. He was like, mate, you need to put a program out, because if anybody knows it, you know, and can kind of what's the word, curate the you know, the information from all over the industry, because I've spoken to casting directors, directors, agents, writers, producers for hundreds of hours. It's like, it's you. And I was like, shit, you know what, like, yeah, it is me. It's about time. I can't believe I've never done this before. So I'm well excited about it. Indra said he's signed up. Awesome. But yeah, actonthis.tv/training. I will leave the URL up on the screen here. And if you're listening on the audio experience, or you're watching on YouTube, or you're watching the replay on Facebook, this is happening on the 8th of August. I don't think it's going to be recorded, because I'm all about people taking action, taking fast action. I want to reward the people who are prepared to actually put the effort in to show up. I might record it, because I know there's a couple of people who genuinely would want to be there, but actually through no fault of their own can't make it. So I might send recordings out to those people, like, individually. But ultimately, if you're just going to go out on Friday night, or you can't be bothered getting up and attending at 11 o'clock, then it's just tough. Be there at actonthis.tv/training. Get your place. Stacey said she's super excited. Stacey, honestly, you're going to freaking love it. And Esther said the 6-week training will be so valuable. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it will be, because the 6 weeks that I'm doing, and I don't want to explain it all tonight, but I've broken it down into really manageable steps. So we're going to look at one thing every week, basically, for 5 weeks. And then there's a bonus session. I've got some other incredible bonuses on there as well. I'm not going to tell you what they are until Saturday, but they're things that will save you tens of hours, make your life really simple. I've done a lot of the research for you, or Petch has. I've paid Petch to do it, and he's created a couple of things we're going to be giving away for free for people who go on to take the paid training. And I'm going to make it as affordable as I can, guys. I mean, I can't do it for free because it's 6 weeks, and we've spent already, Petch has probably spent about 15 hours on his research. I've spent probably 24 hours already, and then doing the actual thing over 6 weeks. Is going to be, each of those training calls is probably going to be 3 or 4 hours. So what's that? 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. I mean, it's probably going to be like 30 hours plus of coaching. I can't do it for free, but I promise the people who do come on that, I will give it my all. Obviously, there's no guarantees, but I will do everything that I can to show you what I have done to book roles time and time and time again. So I'm super excited, without a doubt, to get stuck into it. So tonight, I want to. Ollie's here, says, sounds great, Chuck. Cheers, Ollie. I want to just go over a few things that have happened on actonthis.tv. So tomorrow night as well, right? Who's still looking for an agent? Let me know. I'm going to have to skip down a few comments. Apologies if I miss all these. Who's still looking for an acting agent? And let me just share my screen with you guys, and I'll show you what's happening tomorrow night. In fact, I don't need to share my screen. I can just play a little teaser trailer for you. But who's looking for an agent? And again, who... I don't know if you put it in the comments before. Just let me know in the comments if you are on Spotlight, and if you are still looking for your first TV credit, just so I know, because that's going to help me tailor this program as well. I might make it so that, I'm not going to make it so that you can only join the program if you've got Spotlight, but it might be a little bit more beneficial. I mean, you can jump on it anyway, no problem. It's just like if you have a few things in place, it might fast track the process even more. But even knowing the process is going to enable you to reverse engineer it to fast track it faster than you will be able to do on your own, without a doubt. So Sandra says me. Same says Esther. Oh, is it Kerian or how do you say your name? Cerian. Kerian? Serian? Amazing name, though, and it's not something you would... that's a great actor's name, that. Kerian Young, or Serian Young. Or maybe I'm saying it... Or Kieran. Could it be Kieran? Oh, God. I don't even know, but it looks great. Fantastic actor's name. So Sandra's in that bow. Rachel is as well. Kev is as well. Yeah, Kev, man, you should so be working, mate. You get on this training, dude. That's on this.tv/training. Caitlin says me. Got no Spotlight, still doing training with that for TV. No problem at all. That's me, says Jem. Poppy says, yeah. So this honestly, it's like you're not on your own though. When I put that survey out into the group, only 1 in 4, 74.6% to be exact, of people who answered the survey I put out in the Facebook group on Act on This were yet to get their first TV credit. And there's a lot of decent people I see within that list, and I'm like, oh my God, how have you not booked a TV job yet? And it's just because it's not your fault. No one's taught you the business of the business or how to do it. And I wouldn't necessarily have even known it had I not. I worked from 2010 till 2012 as a casting assistant at a very, very like famous casting director's office here in Manchester. I owe an awful lot to that office because that really, and the acting class that was attached to it at the time as well. Michael Jackson at Act for TV and Beverly Keogh, massive shout out to those two. Helped and nurtured me so much during that time after I'd left drama school. I had no clue what I was doing. And again, you don't need to go drama school. You know, I was just as good, I would argue, as I was before I went in, as when I left. I certainly knew how to act for theatre better because that's all we did for 3 years. But I only wanted to work in TV, so I almost had to forget my training. Not that I'm knocking drama school, but for me, it didn't teach me anything about TV. An Act for TV classes that Michael was running did. That's how I met Michael. Cut a long story short, I ended up working in Beverly's office for 2 years, helping as a casting assistant, and I just learned so much. That was the catalyst for me setting up actonthis.tv. I would never have done it had I not, seen the inside of the office and how casting really works. And then I began to understand the business. And it's that a lot of actors just never get taught because they never get an opportunity to work in casting. Natalie says, Spotlight, still wanting that first TV credit. This excites me so much because I just know how to do it. I know I can help you all and the thing is, if you're on Spotlight, you've done a lot of acting already. So it's not like, I'm working, you're not working from scratch, even though you could still do this process and go on this process if you were working from scratch. But it just makes it, in my head, it makes it even more attainable for you guys because you've done the initial hustle that takes a good while to get yourself on Spotlight. Chris has recently left his agent. I'm on Spotlight, but no real TV credits, mainly theatre. Chris, you don't need an agent for this to work. 100%. Honestly, I'm trying not to smile just because it's like, I can just feel inside how this is going to change. Honestly, I swear to God, I'm going to be able to change some of your careers, definitely. Change some of your lives. On Spotlight, looking at my first credit, says Holly. On Spotlight, no agent, no TV credit. On Spotlight, still... Wow. Roy says, will you please record it and send to me via email? I would attend, but I've been booked for a job. Roy, because you've been booked for a job... and ultimately, that is the entire goal of this webinar. Yes, of course I will. Will you still register for the training, though? Go to actonthis.tv/training. I have a system in place that will know if you've showed up for the training or not. And if I find out you've not been on it, Roy, yes, I will send you an email with the recording. The recording will probably only be up for 24 hours as well, by the way. So it's like, I just want people to take action. And I know if I don't put things in place, no one does. It's one thing I've learned from running this community for 10 years is that if people either don't pay for something or you don't put a time limit on when they have to take action by, nobody does. And then years of their life goes by and they wonder why they're getting more and more miserable being in this industry. And it's because they're just allowing those little voices in their head to take over and just, and they're just trying to protect you. Your brain is working perfectly fine when it's saying, don't do that, Roy. Don't email that person. Don't put your head above the parapet. Don't throw your hat into the arena. You could get hurt. You could lose money. You might get embarrassed. It might not go well. It's doing you a favor. That's how we're all wired. But it's like, on the other hand, you've got to make the excitement of it all going great louder than the fear of it going wrong. And so I will definitely, I'll definitely send the replay out to a couple of people. It's not going to be a mass thing though. Curtis says, have Spotlight and an agent. I'm on Spotlight still. Tanika, God, you're so good as well. Not on Spotlight, Solomon. Don't worry, man. We can work towards that as well. How can you sign up for the program? Says Ronya. You can on Saturday. I mean, the free training is going to be this Saturday, which is just actonthis.tv/training. Get on that, and it's completely free. And I will explain about the program and how it works at the end of that training. And there'll be there'll be some special things in place for people who actually sign up during the training. Again, just to reward fast action takers. And you can trust me, like I say, this is not some sort of like snake oil salesman going, I'm going to show you the secrets of this. You're going to become a millionaire. You're not. But well, you might do eventually. But what I am going to do is I'm going to walk you through how I have done this thing that you want to achieve and how I've done it over 25 times. So I think I'm pretty qualified to talk about it. Alicia, I can't believe you're still unrepped. But you know what? Do you know what? What we're going to be talking about on Saturday is very interesting because Alicia's just had some show reel scenes shot, and I think they're really good. It's so obvious without giving you a big head, Alicia, that you're really capable. You're very good. You're a really good actress, and yet there's some things that we're going to talk about on Saturday that I think you haven't implemented in your career yet. And I think if you did, then maybe even using the scenes you've already got, but maybe we just need something else, nothing massive, nothing dead expensive, but something that could maybe speed up the process of you actually landing not just an agent, but a job, and maybe even a job without an agent. Because I know there are casting directors who would book you for what we're going to be talking about on Saturday, the type of roles that we're going to talk about on Saturday and focus on, off the strength of the fact that they can just see that you can act and you're on Spotlight. So we're going to, we're going to go through that. Wendy Walker, you should be working as well. Scylla says you're going to be there. Brendan says, want first date. Brendan, you're freaking good as well. There's so much talent in this community. And this is what I mean. Be honest with me, right? Be dead honest. Why do you think... Just be really honest with me. When was the last time, or maybe none of you have ever done this, you sat down and worked out a marketing calendar for yourself in terms of who you're going to write to and when? You really pragmatically focused on streamlining what you were going to say, laser focused in on what you wanted from those casting directors, and you did this consistently for weeks. It might be that you've never done this, and again, we won't be able to talk about all that on the training on Saturday. It's only going to be about 60 minutes, 90 minutes, but in the full program, we're definitely going to talk about this because I wish I could show you. I've got a whiteboard here, and this is just for Acts on This. I have a marketing calendar here, so I know how I'm going to promote this business. Okay, actsonthis.tv. Every single week in terms of what we're gonna promote this week, what we're gonna put out next week. It's broken up. We've got acting, social media, mindset, marketing, agents, finance, networking, all these different areas and the things that we're gonna go through. And that's how I'm growing this community. And it's also how before I had this community, I grew my acting career by knowing actually, right, what am I gonna do week on week? Because for me, if I don't schedule it, it doesn't get done. So if you're not scheduling into your calendar, like literally days of the week where you're like, right, today is my marketing day for not for Acts on This. You haven't got Acts on This, for whatever you've got and your acting career. Maybe, and you know what? Maybe you've got another side hustle as well. All of the stuff we're going to be talking about still applies to any kind of business you want to promote. It's just acting's so weird because you are the product. And so many actors are just so insecure and self-doubt themselves, so filled with self-doubt. Because they're the product. If you were selling anything else, if you were making T-shirts with great logos on the front or patterns and pictures, you would be screaming about them all over the place, trying to sell them because it's detached from who you are. Whereas when it's yourself, hardly anyone promotes themselves at all because they're just shit scared of rejection, fear of failure. On that survey I put out, the biggest fears I asked everybody, what's your number one fear? The two most popular answers were letting myself down and then letting others down, being seen as a failure. And you're almost kind of self-fulfilling that prophecy by not taking action. Because people are going to respect you and think so much more of you if they see you trying and pushing, failing, but not accepting that as a failure, looking at it as learning. I always say you win some, you learn some. You never lose as long as you learn something from that. Liz says she's excited. Ross is like a kid in a sweet shop. No, I am, honestly. I get really excited about this. I think there's definitely there's something. My personality type is an ENTJ. If you go and you just look at the just Google personality types, you can do a test. And part of that is that I love teaching other things and sharing knowledge, and I think that's just built into me. So I am when I'm like, oh my God, what I can share with people is actually going to make an impact It really, really excites me. Mia says, I feel I need to talk to you a little more. I'm not a London-based actress. What advice do you have for a European actor? Depends. So where are you, Mia, in terms of the world? As in, like, you're not from London or you're not living in London right now? And then where do you want to work? Do you want to work in Europe, or do you want to work in London? And then again, we need to work backwards from what you want. And then we can figure out how we make that happen. Linda says, got no agent, no TV experience, but I've done theatre. How can I move forward? I need to know what you want. This is the thing that a lot of people like need to get clear in their own minds, is like, what is moving forward? I get asked this question so much, like, oh, how can I progress? How can I reach the next level? How can I move forward? And it's like, what is progression for you? What is that next level for you? And what is moving forward for you? Because if you're only setting generalized goals, like, I want to work more as an actor this year, then it's impossible to break that down and reverse engineer it. Because you want to work as what? What is it you want? What medium? Theatre, you might as well forget it for this year. TV, game on though, okay? Film, to a certain extent, is beginning to happen as well. Because the big budget ones anyway, because they can afford the insurance. But TV is definitely happening. I was speaking to Jordan Hogg, the director, before, who I can't tell you what he's working on, but he's actually he's working on a BBC drama, and it's big. It's big, and it's going ahead, and it's happening, and everyone else is sitting around going, "Oh, nothing's going on with COVID." Yeah, it is, because the big budget stuff, they can afford the insurance, so you need to know what it is that you want, basically, and then we can move forward, from there, and figure out actually, what are then each step. If you think about the alphabet, going from A to Z, okay. How many letters are in the alphabet? It's 26 in it, I think. So A is one letter, Z is one letter, right? In between those letters is 24 other letters. And until you start, a lot of people actually, the main problem a lot of actors have is that actually, if they can't see all steps of A to Z, they just don't start. And from my own experience, putting this presentation together that I'm going to be doing on Saturday was a mammoth undertaking. And if I'd have thought to myself, and I did almost have a little bit analysis paralysis, as I coin it, in terms of I was overthinking it a little bit, going, okay, where am I going to go on each slide? Until I actually started writing each slide, so the equivalent of going A, B, and C, and I got to C, D would never have presented itself. Until I started, I would never have been able to, to get going. And you'll recognize this. Remember when you were at school and you were writing an essay, and maybe I'd say like a creative writing essay? Do you ever do like English lit at school? And in your exam, you had to write a story, and you were just given like one line of a theme to write your story around. If you'd have sat there and tried to figure out what the beginning, middle, and end of your story was before you started writing, you'd have ran out of time in the exam. But I remember it like yesterday. I just started writing, sort of like, there was a boy, blah, blah, blah. And then before you knew it, your mind starts racing, and suddenly an idea pops into your head. And then it's almost like you've got it in your head and you go, oh my God, I've just had this great idea. And it comes to the point where you can't write it out fast enough because you're afraid you're going to forget it. It's like, shut up. I've got to write this down. I'm going to forget it. I've got to write it down. And you've got all this stuff in your head. Your career's like that until you start moving. You have no ideas and you just stay stuck exactly where you are. So you've got to start going. Otherwise, you're constantly going to be paralyzed. Alan says, I'll be honest, I'm yet to strategically... Oh, Alan, I missed your comment. I'm yet to strategically do something. I'm guessing, sorry, Facebook, the way that it works, just fired your comment off into the abyss. But I'm guessing you were saying you've not strategically sat down and actually done some sort of like marketing plan, etc., etc. Haven't done that before, says Rachel. Liz says she's good at pushing others, but not myself. We're all guilty of that. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I've just spent this whole week coaching other people. I need to sit down and get my own shit together. I had that just about 10 days ago. And then went, right, I'm just going to, spend 3 days on my own career. And then made some real, hopefully some real strides in terms of what I think I've put into place that should hopefully, come back and pay me in September. But I'm going to, I'm going to let you know about that. Pretty excited about that. Not going to say anything though, in case I made myself look very stupid. But yeah, sometimes you've got to just go all in on yourself for a little bit. It can't just be about. It's lovely to help other people, and our community is so supportive. But you've got to focus on yourself. Looking forward to this training. Says Sandra. Just hope it can help me already now. If not, it will help me when I'm finally in the UK. It can definitely help you now, Sandra, because I'm sure in Germany, Sandra's in Germany. I'm sure the German market is similar. It's quite universal. It's very specific actually, but universal probably to the television industry anyway. Probably doesn't apply to film. It just really applies to TV as far as I know. And like I say, I can just work off. I can't theorize something, as going, oh, this is a good theory. This is what I hypothesize. I'm not doing that. This is actually anecdotal. It's off my own experience. I'm going to literally go, guys, look, here's me in these 12 shows. Let me talk to you about what I did to get in this show. Then what I did from using what I'd done in that show to get in this show. And then what I did to get in this show. And you're going to see this pattern emerge of in between, like a thread, like a needle and thread between every single show that I have done. And I can trace it back. I can tell you how I've got the auditions. I can literally explain everything to you. And that's why I'm so excited about doing the training this first time round, the paid version, the 6-week training, because it's the only time I'm going to do it live. So if you have questions about the things that I've done, I can answer them like literally live there for you. Whereas in future versions, when it's recorded, because I won't have time to coach it live in the future, it's a bit trickier, for people to get that kind of feedback. So yeah, I'm just going to literally be going through what I've done, and then you can replicate that. Brendan says, I'm scared I won't make it in time. What do you mean, Brendan? As in for the training, or you won't make your acting career in time? Nicola says, I got lazy when I booked long jobs straight out of uni, got contracts for TV and commercial jobs, then had 3-year tours that lasted between 7 to 9 months. Wow. And was always recontracted into them. My problem was I wasn't proactive until I was out of work. I mean, there is an element of that in terms of you do definitely need to work harder for those first few credits. And then what I found is when you were getting to 10, 12 credits in, you didn't need to push as hard because you'd already built those relationships and people know you. And then when you're hitting kind of 15, 20 jobs under your belt, you'll see on Saturday, I've done shows, particularly serial dramas, lots of times. I think I must have done Emmerdale about, 5 times, something like that. And Coronation Street, and when you get in sort of the really known by those casting directors and they really understand you and what you are and what you are selling, then you'll just you don't have to push as hard. You'll get asked back time and time again. Marcelo's in the house. He's a guy who probably doesn't need any help. He's crushing it. Good to see you, Marcelo. Ross, what night or day is it on? David, it's Saturday morning, next Saturday, the 8th of August. If you just go to this web address, it's on the bottom of your screen here, actonthis.tv/training. Just read that page. All details are on there. Fill your name and address in, not your address, your email address. I don't want to know where you live. And you will get an email literally straight away. It's automated. I've set the system up so it sends you a Zoom link automatically. And I'll just check. There's 300 places available because that's my limit on Zoom. I'm just going to find out. I can tell you in real time how many places are left. And then I must show you what's going on tomorrow. I wasn't expecting to come and talk about this so much tonight. 234 people have registered so far for the training. So we've got like 66 places left to go on it. I'm sure not everyone's going to turn up. I'm sure some people will have registered and they'll get hungover and won't be able to make it and stuff like that. But I just don't want you to get locked out of the room because Zoom will just go, your limit's been hit, Ross, unless you pay another, I think it's like another £100 a month or something like that. You can't have any more people in. And I already paid too much. I'm not a charity. Can't afford it. Let's have a look. I'm going to have to skip some of these comments. I'm so sorry. Liz says she wants first TV credit. I want my next step to be on Doctors. Holby says Kerrion or Serian or Kieran. I don't know. I say that name. It's definitely Kerrion. Serian? I don't know. Something regular. I'm a grad of 2020, no agent. Well, that's awesome though. So if you're a grad, I'm guessing you're on Spotlight because you'll qualify if you graduate from drama school. And you want, I've done Doctors twice. Have I done Doctors twice or 3 times? So again, I can tell you how I made that happen. I had one straight offer off a self-tape for Doctors, and then one that I had to audition for. But But I can literally reverse engineer how I got that straight offer off my self-tape, because it wasn't luck. I hadn't just put a self-tape together that was just thrown together. I'd very much, and this is the key, from the very beginning of making my reel, when I had no TV credits and I'd not been on anything, I very specifically and thought about what that first scene I was going to film, what it was, and how that was going to lead to my first TV credit, regardless of how small it is. And that's what we're going to be looking at on Saturday, because not many actors do that. I think, again, they want to, if you're thinking of A to Z, they try to go from like A and they're jumping straight to R, and they don't want to go through B, C, D, E, F, and G and all the other letters. Because, and it's not because I don't think they feel better than that. I think it's just because they just want it. You know, you get into acting because you're excited about it, and you love it. So you want to do those big parts straight away. And unfortunately, you know, for 95, 96, 7, 8% of actors, that's not the case. And then you can end up waiting for 5 years for that one part to come up, or you can go after what I've kind of calculated as probably 1,000 roles a year that go out that, you know, will at least get that one credit under your belt, you know. So we're gonna talk about those. Definitely. So tomorrow night, okay, just going off topic for a second. Well, back onto topic probably. Kerry Ann. There you go. So it's not Serian, not Kieran, and not what did I say? Kerrian. Just Kerry Ann. But it's just spelled Cerian. There you go. Thank you very much. I will not forget that now. So tomorrow night, okay, for those people who are looking for an agent, we have got another fantastic agent coming to do a live mastermind session for all members of actonthis.tv. If you are not a member of the website yet, go to actonthis.tv/live. And you can get your first month's membership to the site half price, okay? It's going to cost you 12 quid, and you're going to get to join 4 live mastermind sessions that will be between 90 minutes and 2 hours long over the next 4 weeks with some of the biggest names in the industry. We're talking top agents, BAFTA-nominated actors, actresses, casting directors, you know, the biggest of the big, like as in the people who run this industry. And tomorrow night, we're going to be joined, really happy to be joined by Nicola Bolton, who has recently gone out on her own as an agent, setting up her own agency. For those who you'll know, if you know agents, you'll know of Regan Management or Regan Talent Group, as they kind of know now. They had offices in Manchester, London, Cardiff. You know, really established acting agency. Nicola headed up the Regan Manchester office for 6 years. Had her clients in all kinds of stuff, top films, you know, top TV shows, did really, really well. But like most agents, I'm guessing when you're working within an agency, you're going to get, I mean, we're going to talk to you about it because I'm just guessing now, but if it was me, I'd get itchy feet. I'd be like, I know how agencies work now. I'm heading this one up. I've been doing it 6 years. I want to build something of my own. That's why I, you know, built Act on This. I just wanted something that I owned. And she's now, during COVID, very brave, gone, right, I'm going to set up my own agency, Nicola Bolton Management. She's right now looking after her current clients who are moving over from her old list to her new agency. But I don't know, I mean, I'm guessing again, 4 to 6 weeks, I reckon once they're settled in, she's going to be looking for new clients because it's a brand new agency. I just think it's a key opportunity for you lot who are looking for a top agent, you know, a great agent, particularly if you're just starting out and you're looking for those first TV credits. Nicola's got incredible experience in that. I just don't think you want to miss this. I think this is going to be a great opportunity. You are going to get a chance to jump on camera and talk to Nicola as well. And we're going to be going over ultimately what she's looking for when she's signing actors, what she wants from actors when they're emailing, what she likes in show reels, all kinds of stuff. Here's just like a little trailer I recorded with Nicola. But this is tomorrow night. That is Tuesday, the 4th of August, 2020 at 7:30 p.m. If you want to be there and you're not a member of actonthis.tv yet, get over to actonthis.tv/live and you'll be able to grab your membership for half price for month 1. But here's Nicola. Actors, I am back once again with another incredible invite for you guys to yet another incredible actonthis.tv live webinar, this time taking place on Tuesday, the 4th of August at 7:30 p.m. with this amazing woman here, an incredibly well-established agent in the acting industry, but now owner and CEO of her own brand new agency. It's Nicola Bolton, now from Nicola Bolton Management. Nikki, welcome.
Hi.
What are we going to be talking about on Tuesday? This is so exciting.
Right, we're going to talk about contacting agents, building a relationship with your agent, and navigating this business.
Look at that. Nice and concise. Exactly. And it's a crazy business right now. But actors, there is still so much opportunity here right now. If you are an actor, particularly if you are looking for an agent right now, you're looking for representation, maybe you're looking for new rep, you're looking to change agents, you don't know how to go about it, you're afraid of reaching out, you don't know what to put in your emails, and you want to literally jump on camera one-to-one, have a chat with Nikki and just talk this over, ask your career questions, get answers that are going to help you move further much faster, and get yourself over to actonthis.tv/live right now for full details of how you can take part. And Nikki, bit of pressure, but why don't actors want to miss this one?
Ooh, I would say that rather than watching the telly on that evening, you can find out how you can get on the TV.
Yes, I love it. Rather than sitting and watching Netflix, come and learn how to get on Netflix and be there. actonthis.tv/live. Boom, actonthis.tv/live. And also, Bryony wasn't on camera. Bryony Polizzi she's an awesome associate for Nicola, worked with Nicola at Regan Talent Group Manchester. She's also really, experienced within the industry. She's produced stuff. She worked as a producer on the Academy Award winning film The Silent Child, Rachel Shenton's film. She knows her stuff. She's been around a long time in different areas of the industry, and again now is helping Nicola on a part-time basis establish Nicola Bolton Management. So Bryony will, fingers crossed, be joining us tomorrow night as well with Nicola. So you're getting 2 for 1, getting double trouble tomorrow night. Again, if you want to be there, actonthis.tv/live. But I can see people in the comments are dead excited about it because people are saying as well that they've written to Nicola. Even in the last couple of weeks. Rachel says, Nikki, her energy is great. I'm optimistic, says Nicola. She seems brilliant. And that's not Nicola Bolton, that's Nicola Doherty. We've not got Nicola live on the stream commenting on how great she thinks her own live stream is going to be. There's a lot of hand action in that trailer, says R-Bar, Car, Alaws. I do talk a lot with my hands, don't I? Definitely talk a lot with my hands. When I was at drama school, actually, something I got into trouble for a little bit. And the second show that we had in the third year, was it David Byrne? He was this old Irish director. He's proper old school, but rules with an iron fist. He was awesome, actually. He taught us a lot of stuff. It was all very Chekhovian, and he did a lot of classical theatre with us. He made me do our entire show with my hands in my pockets, because he said that's going to train you to just act without moving your hands. Just want you to use your face, and your voice. Ultimately, it was a big learning curve. I definitely learned not to fidget, and yet when I'm presenting, I'm still all over the place. But I think I've got it down when I'm on camera and I'm actually acting now. It's all right. But yeah, that was always an issue for me, definitely. And Sarah, Arbar, Carlos, I'll just Sarah's fine. There's people having different names on Facebook. Bobby says, do you have Italian heritage, Ross? Absolutely not, mate. Look at my complexion. Does it look like I have Italian heritage? Scottish, mate. I'm pale as anything. I've got a ginger beard. And I'm pale. But I love it. I love it, I like the way you think that, definitely. Why aren't you wearing your black T-shirt? I've got a grey T-shirt on tonight. I just thought I'd mix it up a little bit. I own about 12 black T-shirts, all exactly the same size, and generally that's all I wear, because then I never have to think about what I've got to wear in the morning. But I've gone for grey tonight. Just thought, what the hell, rock and roll, why not? So tomorrow night, be there, basically, 7:30 p.m, actonthis.tv/live. Get that membership for half price. Just come and kick the tires in the community. For Kerry Ann's just bought a membership. Kerry Ann, welcome to the. Well, that's super exciting, isn't it? Kerry Ann, who I couldn't even pronounce her name, has forgiven me so much that she's now just signed up to actonthis.tv. Now you're part of the family, Kerry Ann. You no escaping now. Basically, you've just literally adopted about 700 people in your family now. You're going to get to know all these people on here, and they're just never letting you go. Before you know it, you're going to be on Zoom calls with them, doing script read-throughs, improvisations, all kinds of stuff. Chris is probably going to have you doing voiceover. It's all happening. Inez is here, says, is the Buy For Now t-shirt available yet? For those who don't know what that is, I got quite synonymous with just always ending my live streams years ago with bye for now. And I didn't know I was even doing it, and people were picking up on it. And every time I saw them and I would have a coffee, and as we were leaving, they'd go, bye for now. I got it off my mum, actually, because my mum always ended the phone calls with it. And I used to say it taking the mick out of her, and somehow it just became a thing. And now everybody's saying bye for now. I said I'd get a T-shirt with bye for now on it and act on this one just for a laugh. I might do it, Inez. Or maybe we should get face masks. Act on this face mask with bye for now. We should do that, definitely. Let's have a look. It's actually carry on. Now I don't know what your name is, because you've now said it's actually Carrion. Sorry, I couldn't type it fast enough before. Whatever your name is, welcome. Basically, it's amazing to have you here. And Poppy says, yeah, 12 quid for your first month. So normally it's £6 a week, just £6 a week to be a member. I've made it as cheap as possible. That's on this. Because I was getting sick of the bullshit in this industry where people are charging you know what, people are still doing it now. You know, people used to be charging like 30, 35 quid for 1 2-hour acting class where you got 6 minutes, like literally performing. Total rip-off. But I've seen people go the other way now. Live stuff online that can be done cheaply. That's why, you know, I give you guys 7 live calls a month, literally about 15 hours of training plus a month. For 24 quid, works out like what, like, I don't even know what that is, £3 a call. I still see people putting one-off Zoom workshops out for 25 quid, 30 quid, and I'm like, I just know what we're doing at Acts on This is just better. I'm bringing you the biggest names in the game, literally the biggest actors, the biggest casting directors, and the biggest agents that there is in this industry, and you're hearing off them firsthand every single week what you need to do in order for you to book paid acting work on TV, the one thing everyone's telling me they want. So why people are not getting involved with it, and loads of people are, but why others aren't, I have no idea. Why you'd rather go and give, you know, some acting coach who's not even an actor, who's never booked a job in his life, 25 quid to teach you some bullshit, as opposed to coming and listening to an agent who gets his or her actors acting jobs every day, or learning from actors who have been there and done it. It's just a no-brainer for me. If I want to know how to do something, I go to someone who's done it and go, how do you do it? Teach me. And sometimes I'll pay really good money for that because it saves me years of my life figuring it out, you know, getting it wrong. It's 12 quid for your first month. After that, it's just £6 a week, 24 quid a month. Literally the best value you'll get anywhere in the industry. Totally stand by that without a doubt. Elizabeth said, could we do a Zoom read-through on a day other than Sunday? Esther, that's down to you. You have to sort that out. Esther sorts out the read-throughs in the community. She does them on a Sunday. But Elizabeth, if Esther can't do it, then you need to do it. Then you set one up on another day. That's what's so good about the community. There's so many people here. There's literally hundreds of actors in the premium community. There's thousands in the Facebook group. You don't need to ask permission or wait for someone else to do anything. If you want something to happen, it's what I've learned in my life, just set it up. You know, I was scratching my own itch setting up actonthis.tv. I was like, if there was a site out now where you could sit down with the biggest casting directors in TV and ask them how you get in the room with them, what you have to do exactly to get in the room with them, I'd pay for that. And I looked around, no one was doing it. I was like, well, I'm not going to wait for someone to do it. I'm going to do it then. So all I was doing was scratching my own itch. And I scratched my own itch for 8 years before anyone else really gave a shit. And then now the community's, you know, grown into something massive. But for 8 years, I was doing it because I was answering my own questions, basically. All you need is an Acts on This membership and accountability for yourself to do well, not waste money on workshops all the time, says Alicia. Boom, completely with you. You know what? I'm not slagging off workshops. I don't want any person on here on this call who runs workshops to think I'm slagging them off, because there's so many people in our community who are lovely and offer loads of value when they themselves run workshops. You get a lot of actors, you know, who are quite entrepreneurial running some workshops, and some people are so legit. Ali Natkeel, super legit. Ollie Devotee, super legit. Who else? Andrea Watson, super legit. You know, they're in our community and they run workshops, but they don't put them out for 65 quid. You know, I've seen some casting directors, you know, who are, I'd call them out for it. I go, look, you know, I respect you as a person, but actually as a casting director now, you're not casting anything. You haven't cast anything since 2015, and you're charging £100 for a workshop because you're clearly not making any money doing your job anymore. And that's not being horrible. That's just like, you know, just actually saying the facts. And And it's people like that I would be like, no, that is not right. That is not value-led, value-driven. And yet, there are some people in our community who are doing stuff for like 25 quid, 30 quid. And they're bringing in really, really great, giving, lovely people who are working, who are casting assistants, associates, and casting directors who are working on great stuff. So please don't think I'm ever slating like the entire workshop niche, because I'm not. That's not the case. I myself have been over the years, only a few, but I've chosen some workshops that I've gone, yes, you know what, I do want to meet that person. That is worth 30 quid, definitely, but I wouldn't pay 100 quid for it. So yeah, that's on this. Super cheap. I may have missed something. Can we already sign up for the 6 month? It's not 6 months workshop, Sandra. God, that'd be thousands of pounds. It's 6 weeks. But no, you can't yet. You will be able to sign up for it on Saturday. At the end of the training, actonthis.tv/training, and that's only because right now I'm ironing out the details of it, of how many people can be on that training, like on the full course. Because, like I say, I want to work with the people who are on it. I can't hold your hand through the whole thing and do it for you. You need to show up and do the work, but I can show you what I have done and how that has worked for me, and then you will be held accountable. Though you'll probably be buddied up with one other person, so we'll bring an even number in, and there'll be 2 of you, and you will make sure that you are holding each other accountable, because I can't hold 24 people accountable or whatever it'll be. I don't have the time to do it for you, write the emails for you, film something for you. But I'm going to go through ultimately a formula, effectively, of how how I've done it time and time and time again. It's not magic. It's not new. It's not a theory. It's basically just documenting what I've done and why it has worked. And I don't even know if other people are doing it. I just presumed, until talking with Ollie the other day, that this is what people are doing. And I'm like, maybe actually I haven't articulated this in the past. And when we started talking about it, I was like, oh my God, actually, this is really simple. But no, so very, very few people are doing it. So I think it'll be exciting. It's not, and that's also good as well, in terms of it's not complex. It's not like it's going to blow your mind to the point where you're going to go like, oh my God, I don't know where to start with this. It'll probably just be the foundations that you should have already put in, but you just haven't done it because no one's been there to push you to actually do it. And I liken it to, I said on Saturday, when you drive past a building, in Manchester now, there's more cranes in the sky, I think, than anywhere in Europe. And when I was working in voiceover studios in the city centre, I work from home now a lot of the time, but I would get the train and I'd go past the same 3 or 4 building sites all at the same time. And you have a building site and the first thing they build is the lift shaft. And then it appeared, that goes up quite quick. And then these buildings, every time I went past them, honestly, for probably 4 months, I see loads of guys there, but I'd be like, nothing's happening. Like, what are they doing? There's no building happening here. I don't understand what's taking so long. And then what happens, and you might have noticed this, let me know in the chat if you have noticed this, there comes a point where over a 2-week period, you might go past that building site twice, and boom, half the building is there. So it's taken them 6 months to just put a lift shaft up, and it doesn't seem like anything else. The lift shaft initially goes up quite quick. But then it appears that nothing happens for a long time, but then suddenly, bang, it's all built, and it's built really quickly. And that's because they spent 6 months on the foundation of that building. And then they can throw the walls up quick. And that's what your career is like. You probably at no point have put those 6 months, and it doesn't even take 6 months, those 8 weeks of foundations. I don't even know, maybe that's what I'll call the workshop, of those foundations in place, so you can then very quickly build your building, and you can build your building and make it the biggest building in town by actually just building your building, not tearing other people's buildings down, because that's what a lot of actors do. They're like, oh, they only got that job because of such and such a thing. Oh, I'm better than them, but I'm not, and they just complain. Just build the biggest building for the sake of building the biggest building, and be happy for everybody else's success, because when you have these foundations in place, you're going to get it too. There's enough, there's enough out there for you. I don't get bitter about other people getting jobs, because I'm like, I'm going to get mine anyway. So it doesn't matter. So, that's what we're going to be looking at. My husband's a builder, says Liz. Foundations are the key. Nice. Same in your career. But how many of us have actually sat down to put those foundations in place? Not many. And I kind of like included myself in that when I first started out. I spent 4 years when I left drama school, banging my head against the brick wall. I wasn't building any walls. I was just smashing my head off it because I was getting it all wrong because nobody had taught me this. And it wasn't, like I say, until it was 4 years. Yeah, 2005 was when I left. Actually, it was closer to 5. 2005, I graduated. 2010, I started working with Michael Jackson and Beverly Keogh, and I started to begin to understand casting. And then within 6 months of starting there and understanding it, I'd probably booked 3 jobs. And they were decent jobs. They might have only been, entry-level roles, but they were in big drama. I was going onto set and having a scene where it was just me and Peter Capaldi, who became Doctor Who, and Juliet Stevenson. Then I was having a scene where it's just me and John Sim. And I'm like, oh my God, I felt complete imposter, completely underqualified. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm on set with some of the biggest actors in the UK here. And like, I was still working at Game for minimum wage in a computer game shop until I managed to kind of get out of there through hustling and booking roles consistently. And it happened quite quick because I put those foundations in place that no one had ever kind of taught me. Drama school definitely didn't. And again, I'm not slating drama school, but I am in a way. Because it did nothing for me in terms of teaching me the business of the business. Right, guys, we've gone past 10 o'clock. I've hardly shown you any of the stuff I wanted to show you tonight. It's cool. We'll do it next time. But ultimately, tomorrow night, please join us. If you've not got an Act on This membership, go and get one. actonthis.tv/live. Join us for the live call with Nicola Bolton. We're going to be talking. We're going to get in proper down and into the nitty-gritty of what it takes to get an agent and ultimately sign with an agent like Nikki. Again, we're going to cut through the fluff, cut through the bullshit. I know her well enough to ask questions that you might be afraid to ask. We're going to get as many people on camera as we can to, get you a bit of one-to-one time with Nikki as well. And hopefully, in 6 weeks' time, when she's settled in and her list is all settled, you may end up signing with her like people did when we brought Janet Hampson on. Like people did when we brought Kate Northern on, 2 other, great agents. And I think 8 to 10 actors in the Act on This community have signed with Janet Hampson now off the back of introductions or getting to know her on that webinar. Even if they didn't speak to her one-to-one, they really got to know her, what she liked, what she didn't like, and how to approach her. So we're going to do the same again. Rinse and repeat. That's what I say. If it's working, keep doing it until it stops working. So I'm going to keep bringing agents on for you guys. I'm going to keep trying our best to, let you figure out on those webinars how they tick, and then you can approach them in a much more personalized way, basically. Awesome. Nicola says, when I graduated, I think I had a lot of luck that complemented a lot of hustle. Now it's a case of understanding the foundations, relaying them, and building the sturdiest building I possibly can. Great analogy. No, honestly, it's true. You know what? And it's fun. When you actually know and you have a formula or a plan, and like I said, you can't guarantee anybody anything, but I can guarantee you, you're going to have a much better shot of making something happen if you follow these things, and only because it's proven. I've done it myself. When you actually have something to aim for and you know what you're working towards, it's actually really enjoyable because you can see the progression and you feel it. And as human beings, the human condition is like when we are making progress, we feel happy and fulfilled in our lives. It's when you're feeling like you're treading water or you don't know where to turn, you're spinning your wheels and you're getting nowhere. That's when you feel frustrated and you begin to get miserable, particularly in this industry. So, when you're making progress, even inch by inch, it's exciting. And with every email you send, I get excited because I'm like, what could come of that? I sent an email 2 weeks ago now, and this is the big one. And this is what I can't share with you yet, not because I'm a dickhead, just because I would look like a massive dickhead if I didn't, and it didn't happen. But yeah, I sent an email off 2 weeks ago that I reckon, I don't know, could completely change the game for me in terms of the result. There's been a small sniff of something, and I've gone, oh my God, that sounds really good. I hope that happens. It might not happen though, but that's what I love about this industry. One email can change everything for you, and you are only ever one audition away. So always focus on that. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. I will play Nicola's thingy again, Nicola's trailer again for those who missed it. And also, just before I go as well, I will just share one last time, actonthis.tv/training. Go and fill this form out now if you haven't already. 11 a.m. this coming Saturday, the 8th of August 2020. I'm going to be running you through this training, talking about how I myself landed my first 12 roles on TV. We're now standing at over 25, but the first 12 were definitely relevant to people in this community looking for their first TV credit. I think most people who can act could have done these first 12 roles that I did. We're going to go through how I made those happen. We're going to have a bird's eye view of that. I'm going to, show you the steps that I took. And like I said, just for transparency, at the end of this training, I am going to offer a limited number of people the opportunity to work with me personally over a 6-week period to implement what I talk about in this training in your own life, in your own career. And that's just an option there for people. There's going to be no hard sell, no pressure. You're still going to get loads of value if you come and join the free training. And you might decide, you know what, I've got enough. I'm going to go and do this myself. But I know if you're anything like me, this is why I'm offering this. I always prefer, if someone has done it themselves, I always prefer to work with them to go, you know what, could you just hold my hand a little bit? Just look over my shoulder and make sure that I am doing this right. I'm going to offer that as an opportunity for maybe 20, 25 people. It'll be a paid course over a 6-week period. But I think those who decide to do it, I'm going to make sure you follow through on the training. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun together, and we're going to get all of your ducks in a row. So when this industry opens up even more, you're just going to have more speed, more momentum already established to really hit things hard. And I've got some incredible bonuses as well. I've got stuff that I'm going to be giving people for free if they take the training that, to a certain extent, are probably worth as much as the training itself. So I'm going to try and make it an absolute no-brainer. And you guys, when I launch this as a full program later in the year, when it's going to be pre-recorded, there'll be no live version of it. I will be charging people literally twice what it's going to cost the people who do the first round of it, because I just want to make it as accessible as possible. But also, selfishly, again, just to be honest with you, I want to use the people who go through this as case studies. So if you're all right, me using you as a case study, because hopefully, fingers crossed, you will go on to get jobs. I want to shout about that. And I want to say, listen, this, Alicia did this. And then, 12 weeks later, 16 weeks later, whatever, here she is with this. I'm excited about it, yeah. I'll love that if I can get you guys to take the action required to get your first credit. What's better than that? It's proper buzz. Awesome. Right, well, enjoy the rest of your week. Stop bringing this up without the... What? I can't... Oh, yeah, the goss. Yeah, no, I will. That's the last time I mentioned that thing about the email and maybe me having something good happen in my life. Yep, I'm never mentioning that again. Right, here's Nikki Bolton's little trailer. Please join us tomorrow night at actonthis.tv/live. Get your membership, and you want to join me for that training. It's completely free, actonthis.tv/training. Until tomorrow night, who was joining us with Nikki. It's a massive 3, 2, 1 from me. Bye for now. Actors, I am back once again with another incredible invite for you guys to yet another incredible actonthis.tv live webinar, this time taking place on Tuesday, the 4th of August at 7:30 p.m. with this amazing woman here, an incredibly well-established agent in the acting industry, but now owner and CEO of her own brand new agency. It's Nicola Bolton, now from Nicola Bolton Management. Nikki, welcome.
Hi.
What are we going to be talking about on Tuesday? This is so exciting.
Right, we're going to talk about contacting agents, building a relationship with your agent, and navigating this business.
Look at that. Nice and concise. Exactly. And it's a crazy business right now. But actors, there is still so much opportunity here right now. If you are an actor, particularly if you are looking for an agent right now, you're looking for representation, maybe you're looking for new rep, you're looking to change agents, you don't know how to go about it, you're afraid of reaching out, you don't know what to put in your emails, and you want to literally jump on camera one-to-one, have a chat with Nikki and just talk this over, ask your career questions, get answers that are going to help you move further much faster, and get yourself over to actonthis.tv/live right now for full details of how you can take part. And Nikki, bit of pressure, but why don't actors want to miss this one?
Ooh, I would say that rather than watching the telly on that evening, you can find out how you can get on the TV.
Yes, I love it. Rather than sitting and watching Netflix, come and learn how to get on Netflix and be there. Actonthis.tv/live.